Hello, everyone. Welcome to the News Browse News broadcast. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe expressed optimism regarding an upcoming trade deal between Canada and India, stating it would be beneficial for his province. The Premier emphasized his hope that the agreement would specifically address the punishing tariffs India imposed last year on pulse crops, including a 30% levy on yellow peas and a 10% duty on lentils, which have negatively impacted Canadian exports. Despite these existing duties, Moe indicated that Saskatchewan could adapt and work around the situation if the tariffs are not entirely removed. His comments came at an event where Canadian and Indian diplomats discussed strengthening bilateral relations. Christopher Cooter, Canada's High Commissioner to India, shared confidence that a trade deal would be finalized later this year, projecting positive economic growth for Canada as a result, according to the Canadian press. The British Columbia government announced that the estimated cost for hosting World Cup matches in Vancouver has once again surged, now projected to be between $685 million and $729 million. This new range significantly exceeds last June's highest estimate of $624 million, marking a midpoint increase of $129 million, or 22.3%. Provincial officials attribute the escalation to numerous unknowns when initial estimates were made, including which countries would play in Vancouver and evolving FIFA requirements. Despite the rising total costs, the Canadian press reports that provincial net hosting expenses could decrease by over $30 million due to higher than previously estimated projected revenues and cost recoveries. Vancouver is slated to host 7 games starting June 13, 2026, with Toronto hosting 6 games starting June 12. The Federal Parliamentary Budget Officer previously noted that provincial costs include federal grants, with $473 million allocated for both BC and Ontario. The New Brunswick legislature will hold hearings into its child protection system, a decision that followed a youth advocate's report on the overdose death of a teenager in the system, as reported by Global News. Youth advocate Kelly Lamrock revealed the teen, who was often homeless and whose mother used drugs, had his file referred to social workers 15 times, only to be screened out each time. A crucial referral to a rehab center after an overdose was lost for 2 months. Lamrock emphasized the need for fundamental change, stating the system prioritizes compliance more than compassion. Social Development Minister Cindy Miles has accepted all recommendations and committed to an internal review to prevent future failures. Progressive Conservative leader Glenn Savoy supports the hearings, hoping the opposition can call witnesses. Shauna Morton, president of the Social Workers Union, voiced hope for reduced bureaucracy and highlighted issues like understaffing and insufficient resources, saying social workers often know best practices but lack the staff to implement them effectively. City News Everywhere reports that Elections BC has concluded its investigation into the results of a closely contested race in the 2024 provincial election for the Surrey-Guildford electoral district. The agency announced Friday that its findings showed no evidence of any deliberate attempts to violate the Election Act. Following the October 19, 2024 election, a judicial recount declared BC NDP MLA Gary Begg the winner. However, runner-up Hanveer Singh Randhawa filed a complaint in January 2025 alleging multiple voting, non-resident voting, and interference with mail-in ballots at a residential care home. Elections BC initially suspended its investigation to preserve the integrity of a concurrent Supreme Court petition filed by Randhawa, resuming it when he withdrew his court action in December. The comprehensive investigation reviewed numerous records, including witness statements and databases. While some evidence suggested non-compliance, it was mostly procedural and did not meet the standard for prosecution. As a result, 12 individuals received letters explaining legislative requirements for voters. Elections BC remains confident that the 2024 provincial election was free, fair, and secure. In related news, Randois announced in March 2026 his intention to run for Surrey mayor in the upcoming municipal election. Dr. Martin Jugenberg, known as Dr. 6S, a plastic surgeon in Toronto, has been ordered to pay $22.5 million to former patients. This ruling, reported by Radio-Canada International, comes after a judge found he invaded patient privacy by installing over 24 surveillance cameras in his clinic, the Toronto Cosmetic Surgery Institute, including an examination and operating rooms. Justice Paul Shabas described Jugenberg's conduct as reprehensible, highlighting that he abused his position of trust and betrayed vulnerable patients. The class action lawsuit was initiated following a 2018 CBC Marketplace investigation that uncovered the hidden cameras. Jugenberg had initially disputed the suit's merit, but the court found he failed to properly inform patients about the extensive surveillance. The total damages comprise $21.5 million in aggregate and an additional $1 million in punitive damages. The College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario eventually disabled the cameras. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.